After several weeks in northern Thailand, we flew from Chiang Mai to Krabi, ready for sea breezes, limestone cliffs, and a whole new side of Thailand. It wasn't long into our drive that we started seeing those iconic cliffs off in the distance. We were dropped off at Ao Nang Beach, where we bought our tickets for the Longtail boats for about $3 a piece. And then we patiently waited for there to be enough people to fill the boat so we could take off. These longtail boats are the main form of transportation around here, which means hopping in and out from the beach. Staying dry is absolutely not part of the experience. Longtail boats are a southern Thailand classic. Simple wooden boats, often powered by car or truck engines, and perfectly designed to handle shallow water and beach landings. We were immediately treated to spectacular views of the limestone cliffs that are classic to Krabi. These cliffs were once underwater, and over time they eroded into the incredible limestone towers that make this area so iconic. We unloaded the bags and set off to explore our home for the next 4 days. We quickly learned this was a no-shoes establishment, which makes a lot of sense when everybody's tracking sand in. Our room was spacious and comfortable and had a gorgeous view overlooking the cliffs and the jungle outside. After settling in, we headed back down to enjoy the amazing sunset at the beach that just seemed to keep getting better and better. The next morning, we quickly discovered that Ton Sai Beach is a total rock climber's playground. And even though we weren't climbing, it was incredible to watch.
Take the low tide trail.
Our morning adventure was hiking around the cliffs at low tide from Ton Sai Beach to Railay, and along the way we met a few jellyfish, mostly moon jellies, which look dramatic but aren't really dangerous. In a few hours, this trail will be covered with water when the tide comes in, but for now, it offered us a beautiful and dramatic entrance into Railay West Beach. After walking through town, we made it to Phra Nang Nai Cave, which was about $6 per person to enter, and spent some time exploring. The massive stalactites and stalagmites were formed over thousands of years and were incredibly impressive to witness. We came across these cute little guys as we were leaving the cave. We headed back into town towards the beach at Railay East, which has a lot of mangroves in that area. Next, we headed towards Phra Nang Cave Beach, which was quite popular. Although the trail to the beach was pretty spectacular, it was no match for the actual beach itself. Tucked into the cliffs nearby is the Princess Cave, which is still an active fertility shrine where locals leave offerings to honor the sea goddess and ask for blessings of fertility, prosperity, and safe travels in their lives. Phra Nang Beach is stunning. Dramatic limestone cliffs, soft sand, and turquoise water all around. It's one of those places where you just can't stop staring at the scenery. This beach was spectacular. It just had the most amazing scenery, beautiful sand, but unfortunately we weren't really prepared for it because it did not have one place to get a drink or food or even to buy water or fresh coconuts. There was no vendors out there, so we were underprepared for our time there.
There was a few resorts, but you couldn't even see the access from the beach very well, and so there was no access to a restaurant or a bar. But it didn't stop the people from going there.
No, and it's someplace we really wanted to go back to, but just a little bit better prepared with some water and some food so we could stay a little bit longer. And in some ways that made it really charming and beautiful, that it wasn't just lined with restaurants and bars and sun loungers and people trying to get you to pay to stay at their spot like some of the other places that we've been. So that was actually kind of a cool part about it.
Yeah.
We ventured back into town for some sustenance and found this great restaurant where the lunch specials included a fruit smoothie for about $5 a piece. We headed back through town to make our way back to Tonsai Beach, but because the tide was in, we had to go up and over those limestone cliffs on the jungle trail this time. We enjoyed a nice cold beverage and another gorgeous sunset before enjoying some grilled squid, which was probably the biggest calamari I have ever seen, for less than $10 and was more than enough for us to share. We started the next morning with a walk, marveling at that gorgeous scenery that we just couldn't seem to get enough of. In addition to rock climbing, we saw several people doing some base jumping. That was a little bit of a surprise when they landed right in front of you on the beach. Enjoying a peaceful beach day. But little did we know it was the calm before the storm. Literally minutes after this video was taken, food poisoning struck and our relaxing beach vibes turned into a very different kind of adventure. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do in Krabi.
Yeah, unfortunately we got sick.
Yeah, a little touch of food poisoning that we seem to both come down with.
We tried to be real careful, not drink the water, not drink or eat the fresh vegetables for the most part, but we couldn't quite nail down what caused it.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not uncommon to happen when you're traveling in Thailand, even if you're super careful. But there were, even as beautiful as Krabi was, and as much as we got to see, there are several hikes, there's lots of day trips that you can do. Obviously lots of great bars and restaurants to try out that we didn't get to explore all of that.
And also 4 weeks in Thailand and we only got sick for approximately 2 days. that's not bad. We still got to do a lot of stuff. It was just that little window of time in, where were we at, Cole?
On Tonzai Beach.
On Tonzai Beach. That's where we didn't get to do the extra exploring. And that's unfortunate because there were a lot of cool things to do at that location, and we only got to do a few of them.
But that spot was spectacular, and it's
was.
definitely on our list to head back to.
Yes.
When we finally emerged from our room after the food poisoning, the beach was anything but calm. It turns out one of the rock climbers hurt his ankle, and we got a front row seat to a full-on rescue operation. Who knew our first steps back outside would be so dramatic? Leaving Tonzai Beach the next morning was a bit of a process. We had to take a golf cart to a Longtail boat. We took the Longtail boat to a pier for another ferry. Travel might be a little complicated, but getting to a place this spectacular is always worth it.